Yo, mic check, mic check. It's your boy Manny. And we're back. Tonight we're gonna do a little bit of Runescape, piece a few people up, take their money, all the good stuff. So tonight I'm gonna be doing some high stakes Pking. I'm thinking we might risk like 70 mil at some point. I want to go in, piece up a couple people, get a few big kills, and then I'm gonna risk about 70, maybe even 100 mil. We might go crazy tonight. But so yeah, so now we're gonna get it going. This isn't my full cash stack either. So for you guys on here who are like, oh, he's broke, he only has 118 mil on him. This isn't my full cash stack. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about how much money we got in the bank. All right, but here we go. And yeah, for you guys who didn't know, yeah, I play RuneScape as well. And I'm actually one of the best players on this game. Oh, damn. Now you guys are going to see my pin. Hold up. I can't let you guys see that because there's a lot of goofballs out there. So hold up. Let me put my pin in right quick. Oh, hold up 1 second. We're about to get it going. All right, here we go. I got my pin in. And now we're about to head to Bounty Hunter. And we're gonna go murk some fools tonight. I'm gonna be on stream for a bit tonight as well. Before we go in PK, we gotta go get some supplies. So we're gonna go to the Grand Exchange and get a couple mana rays. Because I'm just gonna go back to back. If anybody's on and you want to get pieced up, pull up to World 18, Bounty Hunter, and you'll get clapped up. I killed some dude on here and got this demonic tallow. I guess it's worthless. I thought it was worth a good amount, but I guess it's worthless. I haven't played this game seriously in a minute. But I could not play this game for years, come back, still whoop everyone's ass. So last I checked, I was ranked in the top 100 for Bounty Hunter, for rogue kills and Bounty Hunter. So we're going to get a couple combat potions. And then we're going to go. This is the only reason I even play this game is for Pking. Only reason I play this game. But we got Buckley versus Kamaru Usman coming up. So my setup tonight is we're gonna play with a few different setups, but the first setup I'm just gonna go with the Void Waker, since everybody wants to use the Void Waker nowadays. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Vesta Longsword. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vesta Longsword. Oh, we gotta go get some more stuff. And when you see me in Bounty Hunter, I'm always red skulled. I'm always risking at least 10 mil. All right, so we're gonna go over. We need to get some Barrows gloves. This is the annoying part, like gearing up for the game. But we're gonna get to the goods in a second. And I'm thinking I'm gonna go get 85 Herblore as well. They updated the game recently to where now a lot of PKers are using some potion to help get more special attack. So I might go ahead and upgrade my Herblore as well. I only play this game for PK, but there is more to the game than just PK. So, all right, here we go. I think we're about ready. We're going to need to get a couple more things We need to get a couple more things at in Bounty Hunter, but we're just about ready. All right. Let's see here. All right, here we go. And I've never used this setup either. I never used this setup before. Vesta longsword with the full oath plate gear. And I'm gonna use a Fury. I'm gonna use the Fury. WHMMA, what's up? All right, here we go. About to go get the first fight of the night. But we're going to gear up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. We need to get a few crates. Oh, damn. Actually, we need to go back to... We need to hook it up. Hook it up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Pull up. If I get my first kill, I'll donate the kill to you. How about that? Pull up the World 18 and I'll donate the kill to you. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna gear up a little bit more. I'm dead serious. Anybody you pull up the World 18, if you're on the stream, if I don't care if it's 20 mil, I'll give you the 20 mil if I get the kill. If you're on stream, because I don't play for money on this game. I play for fun, and I only pay for Pking. So, it can mean it really means nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So, 20 mil, 100 mil, whatever. I'll hook it up, but you got to pull up to World 18. All right, we got to go back to Grand Exchange because we need to get some some anti-venoms. Super important. If you're PKing, if you're a serious PKer, you always have to have anti-fire and anti-venoms. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy a gang of them and the extended version. So you don't even have to think about you don't have to worry about it. You just grab those, boom. I'm going to spend 4 mil on them. I don't have 100 mil. 100 bill. Like Oda Block, but I'll drop a little 4 mil on it, something small. Then we'll go ahead and get some extended anti-fires as well. We'll get a cool 200 of them. You really don't need the extended version. You really only need the just like the regular ones. But I like to go all out. All right, now here we go. Now we're gonna fuck it up. Now we're about to whoop some ass. This is what you've been waiting for. Let's get it. And I think this is a good combination right here. I might take off the brimstone and put on a warrior ring. But I think this is a good combination. And we're going to do a couple different combinations tonight. I'm going to start it off with the oath plate. Oath plate is good, but it's really not the best gear. It is cool. It really works best with a whip or a void waker, from what I've seen. Just messing around with it. It works great it also really works well if you have a AGS and a Soul Reaper. The amount of damage it does is crazy, and you can smite people pretty easily. So, like if you hit an 82, I hate 82s like regularly with the AGS. All right, so this is my setup. This is how I like to do it. I keep brews on me so we can triple lead all day. Two combat potions. If you guys have a better setup, then let me know about your setup. But this is my setup. I don't claim to know everything. I am one of the best in the game. Not to toot my own horn, but I am, just objectively speaking, one of the best. But I don't claim to know everything, you know? So if you guys have some info, then let me know. All right. We're not sculling today either. Right now, we're risking a cool 11 mil. All right, here we go. Now we're going to get it in. All right, hopefully there's some good fights. I mean, it's a little late, so there might not be. Here we go. This guy. I got beef with this guy. Yeah, he already knows what it is. I got beef with everybody in Bounty Hunter. Look at that little fruitcake. Let's go. Let's go, kid. Let's go, rookie. Yeah, exactly. These guys are so trash. They all do the same thing, the same moves. It's over with, kid. It's over. Nah, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm gonna risk it. Dang. Terrible hit. Here we go. I'll be honest, man. The VLS is overrated. It's a great weapon. It's supposed to be the most powerful weapon in Bounty Hunter, and I've had a lot of success with it, but it is truly overrated. For like how many points it takes, the Vesta's Spear is a great weapon. Like for how many points this weapon takes, it should be like much better than this, especially with the gear that I'm in. I'm in the best gear. As far as slash bonus goes, looks like this dude's risking a lot. And I'm aware of this guy as well. I got beef with this guy as well. We got beef with everybody in Bounty Hunter. World 18, pull up. And for you guys who don't know what game this is an old school game. Like this game, I've been playing this game for like a good I've been playing this game for like damn near 20 years at this point. You know, this is an old school game. This is like, to be honest, I played a lot of games, but I think this really is like the best game. Just because of how it is. It really never gets old. You know, like there's a saying that you never truly quit. You just kind of take breaks. And that's like pretty true with this game. So far, all right, we got a guy right here. Everyone's wearing the same gear. This gear is pretty easy to beat as well. Like if I really want to beat this gear, all I have to do is get my Void on. If I put on Void with the Ring of Suffering, he's not going to be able to touch me. Pause. All right, here we go. All right, hopefully we get our first kill. Let's get some big hits. Let's go. We need something big. We need a 70. Here we go. There we go. We might even smite him at this rate. Yeah, we might smite him at this rate. You gotta be careful here though, because we're hitting so consistent. I think he still has one special attack left. All right, we're safe here. He's gonna run soon here. He's not going to be able to continue. You know, hopefully we get a smite for real. I think he's about to use his second special soon, or he's gonna run soon. But yeah, there's some UFC fights this weekend. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Good fight. I think Buckley's gonna win though. You know, I've been watching Buckley for a minute. Good fighter. Highly underrated fighter. Highly underrated fighter. All right, here it comes. He ran. Highly underrated fighter. And I made a video on it. And, you know, this dude was talking about, oh, Buckley is just athletic. Blah, blah, blah. Now, Yeah, being athletic, that's a compliment. But here's the thing: when people say, "Oh, he's just as athletic," and they're talking about a black dude, typically to me that just means that they're trying to discredit everything that the person has accomplished and just say that they're athletic, not really as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? So Buckley, what he's doing is clearly working. You don't win 6 fights, let alone 6 fights in UFC against really good fighters and, highly ranked contenders, especially when you look at Buckley. Especially when you look at Buckley. Look at these fruitcakes. Like predictable. Especially when you look at fuck, I'm gonna die. Nah, nothing. Nothing, kid. Rookie. But when you look at Buckley, like 6 wins in a row, especially over Wonder Boy, and the recent win over Kobe, he has the X factor. I don't really feel right now. I feel like he could beat anybody. I think the only person that he would lose to is Michael Morales. But we're in there. I got a great workout today. After this, I'm gonna go get another workout in. I'm whooping this dude's ass. About to get our first kill. But lately, over the last, couple years since I got my black belt, I've been working a lot of kickboxing and really falling in love with kickboxing. All the different moves. I like how like the old school guys, they would do stuff like, all the spinning back kicks and the side kicks and the Taekwondo style. I love that style. So that's basically what I've been working a lot of here lately. Today I just did a lot of 360 roundhouse kicks, and the 360 roundhouse kick really is a great move because you can blend it with switching stances. Like, I was messing around with the jab cross hook, step back into southpaw, and then throw the 360 roundhouse kick. Because as you step back in the southpaw, you create a good amount of distance. And when that distance is created, it makes a perfect moment to throw a 360 roundhouse. And that 360 roundhouse can be blended. It can be blended with the spinning back kick, once you program them. So there's just a lot of good options with that. All right, here we go. I might kill him this time. I'm going to lock in for a second. Here. The reason that this setup is so powerful is because every time he hits me, he's going to get hit because I have the Ring of Suffering on. Much stronger than the regular Ring of Recoil. And that's the thing. The only reason that this setup even works for guys like this is because of the, you see that? So now he has to be careful because every time he hits me, he's getting hit. The only reason this setup even works for people is because, they land a certain amount of successful hits, then it starts to pile up one damage, and that combined with the recoil just does so much damage. But since I have a Ring of Suffering, because their recoil you only have so many of them, but since I have a Ring of Suffering with the whip, it never gives him the chance without risking getting KO'd to finish me. You know, that's his only chance. And he couldn't get it because he couldn't. If he would have done it the way he would have typically done it, he would have died. So that's what I like about this setup. And for Bounty Hunter, since there's so many people in here who are essentially playing the same game and trying to PK the same way, yeah, I feel good. I've been lifting, man. I've been hitting the gym. I've been hitting hot yoga, and I feel fucking good. You know, sometime this year, I'm gonna hop back in the cage. But sometime this year, also, I might even do a jiu-jitsu competition, whether it's combat jiu-jitsu or regular jiu-jitsu or both. You know, I just want to get back into competition. You know, the time I took off allowed me to just kind of remember why I like martial arts and why I like competition, stuff like that, and gave me time to develop my game a little bit more. All right, so here we go. Make sure you hit that like button as well. For all the new people, in the chat, hit that like button. We're gonna get a big kill. We'll get a couple big kills. Then we're gonna go to the gym, and I might live stream the gym as well, getting some work in. You know, one thing about Bounty Hunter, it's a lot of the same people, especially at this time of day or this time of night, depending where you're at. But it's always the same people, you know. And we might even do a PvP world. I don't like doing the PvP worlds because everybody teleports so fast after they spec. Also, you know, I hate doing construction. I just like PKing. So my house isn't set up for PvP. I have to do a bunch of teleporting and switching over to world 330 and stuff. So this guy is over here. He's wearing, see what he's wearing. He's wearing full oath plate, and he's not risking shit. I mean, we're here to fuck it up. So I'm gonna skull on him. He honestly, he doesn't look like a threat at all. So I'm gonna skull up on him. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna put on the warrior ring, highly underrated. I've got a warrior ring imbued. So here we go. All right, we're not really risking nothing too crazy. Here we go. This guy's risking like 2 mil, but I don't really care. We'll just go in and whoop his ass. This guy's a goofball. Just need a big hit. Let's go. Big hit will KO him. Almost had him right there. See what I mean? Like the Vestas Spear is highly underrated. You gotta make sure we don't get smited. Make sure we safe as well. Pro tip, if you're not safing in 2025, you ain't doing it right. No hands, whooping his ass. Yeah, people are always saying, oh man, you're safer. Yeah, people hit 99s. You can easily stack somebody out and hit a 99 or hit over a 99. I've done it many times. So yeah, I'm gonna safe 1,000%. But yeah, this dude's easy. If we don't kill him right now, then I'm going to lower the risk just because this guy's such a bum. And I might even give him the opportunity to make any bread. And this is something they all do as well. They'll run, and then they'll try to Void Waker. Let's make sure we don't get smited. Here we go. Might be able to get a KO on him now. Ah, shit. You always want to have your triple eats in a row like this. So boom, I can just eat them. So it makes it to where you're super hard to kill. High risk ain't for you, lad. Yeah, okay. You ain't risking shit, kid. Shut your mouth. So this dude's running his mouth. I can't wait to sit him down. All right, here we go. Actually, we're gonna have to probably run out of here. I'm about to get smited in a second. All right, we're out. We're out. This time though, we're gonna cook him up. Now I got it. I got his game down. So this time he's done for. I'm gonna switch it up slightly. We're only going to put on our number one thing is going to be this Ring of Suffering. All right, here we go. At 30 seconds. Yeah, and I bring a lot of Sarah brews always. All right, here we go. Now let's see what all that trash this kid was talking. It's over with. Yeah, and there's not gonna be no running this time. Yup. And you gotta talk a little trash. You gotta talk a little trash to these idiots as well. They're talking about you safe, blah blah blah. Yeah, I safe and what? Yup, I say I'm a proud safer. This is a boring ass fight. He said, get it together. It's gonna be real nice to sit this idiot down. Let me lock in for a second so we can get this idiot out of here, get our first kill of the night. Yeah, I'm gonna run deeper. So he can't, because in a second here, he's about to start trying to run away. Guaranteed he's gonna start trying to run away. And there is no running. I must smite him for his helmet. And if I die, if I'm out, then I'm out. Fakes, I'm gonna pretend to be smited. Shit, we might have fucked up. Shit. Yeah, we might have fucked up. Yo, what's up, Pickle Gamer? We might die here. But I'm calling his bluff, to be honest. You know, I think he's trying to pretend he's confident. This is like poker. You know, yeah, he's about to die. It's over with. But I don't have any more strength potions, so I don't have any more strength potions, and I don't have any more prayer potions. So we might die, we might get smited here. I might have to run in a second, to be honest. Sweep the leg. Yeah, all right. What up, Pickle Gamer? How close are you to 10K subscribers? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, because we're about to be smited here. So we're gonna go ahead and run out. And boom. There we go. Yeah. Sweep the leg. Hey, you guys check out Pickle Gamer as well. He plays a lot of shooter games and stuff like that. Great guy, solid guy. Trying to get him over to Runescape, but you know, he's too scared to hop on the Runescape. He's like, it's too hard of a game. It's too brutal. It takes too much skill. You know, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. This guy right here, who we just fought, still running his mouth. I'm gonna tell him to meet North. He's saying to stop streaming. Meet North, kid. So I'm gonna fight this kid again at North. You know, this kid's over here crying and shit. But hey, that's what you gotta do. I said no running, and I ran. But hey, that's what it is. There's not everything is fair in war. Everything's fair in war, kid. So this dude is still complaining over here. Yeah, I safe on this game. I rarely run, but yeah, if I'm clearly gonna lose, then I'm gonna dip out of there. All right, so we're back. We haven't got a kill yet. Switched up the gear a bit, and we're gonna get some kills right now. We're risking 25 mil. 25 mil risk. So, and I'm in full Vesta with the Ring of Suffering, with the whip, and the Vesta Spear. Here we go. We got to fight Sammy boy. I'm not going to even fight him unless he skulls, though. Unless he skulls, we're not fighting. Yeah, I'm not. He's risking at least 10 mil. So with this fight, I'm going to have to get more armor, more defense. So we're going to put on a Blessed Spirit Shield. We're going to keep the exact same setup, just with more defense. Got to make sure that the extended anti-potion is on. The extended anti-venom is on. Get an extra crate. And we're going to go out there. All right, I'm going to skull up on this idiot. Here we go. Almost killed him already. Let me see. We're going to run over here so you guys can see him better. So you guys can see what I'm about to do to this poor kid right now. Yeah, after this one, I'm going to adjust the screen as well. Have a good night. You too, PG. Have a great night, my man. Here we go. All right, here we go. And I'm not using the F keys right now just because the way I have everything set up, it's easier to not use F keys. So, and on a Mac, there really is no F keys. So far, I'm whooping this dude's ass. After this fight, I'm going to set it up so you guys can see the fights a little bit better. This dude should get KO'd, to be honest. That was his chance to get the W, and he missed it. So now he's cooked. But it's not going to work, big boy. Damn, what the fuck? All right, so we survived that. What do you guys think about what's happening in LA right now? So I'm a West Coast guy. And I'll be honest, like, the way I see it, you can't break the law, go into the country and then be surprised when you get kicked out and it's time for you to go. You know what I'm saying? So like these people in LA who were burning shit down and breaking shit, I mean, it's just ridiculous. LA has like is known for having riots ever since the 90s. You know, 2025 or 2020, there's a bunch of riots in LA. LA is kind of a lawless place to a degree. Out of everywhere I've been in the States, LA is a very different world. But it's almost like they're just trying to destroy it on purpose. You know, like you can't go to Dubai. You can't go to Dubai and sneak in and stay and think you're going to be good. And if you do sneak in and stay, I mean, the laws that they have there are crazy. You know, you will be dealt with out there in Dubai. You know, so almost died there. As far as I know, I've traveled a lot, been a lot of different places. Everywhere in the world, it's like that. So why is it people think in California, like it's one thing to be like empathetic to people, and it's another thing to be a retard. So that's my issue with California laws and just how they deal with things in California. As a guy from California, I moved to California as an adult. You know, loved it here. It's a great place, but some of the policies and stuff are just idiotic and moronic, and I don't get it. You know, it's literally like they're trying to destroy California on purpose because it just makes zero sense. Like as far as like with the fires, with this whole immigrant thing. Also, you know, it's almost like they want to have slaves in a way because with the illegal immigrant thing, you know, like these immigrants aren't getting paid what a normal person would get paid in America. So they're just like there for like cheap labor. And that's like not really cool. You know, I get being like you're but people want to be understanding, I guess. They want to be understanding or they want to be empathetic and blah blah blah, but it's not really empathetic or understanding to pay someone lesser than what they're supposed to be getting paid by law, and you're just using that as a way to get more profits essentially. So I just don't agree with it. I can't stand all the like super soft ass way that people out here in Cali are like just trying to weaponize empathy. You know, that's like the main tactic that they use is weaponizing empathy. I don't agree with it. So we're gonna go back to whooping this dude's ass. This dude's risking a decent amount. He's risking a decent amount. You know, he's not sculled, but we'll get it. We'll take it. You know, an easy 10 mil. So if you don't know, the Blessed Spirit Shield is great for defending against the Void Waker. But yeah, so like, yeah, I just don't agree with it. You know, a lot of people online are saying stuff like, you know, oh, you don't have a heart, blah, 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 because X, Y, and Z, you're ripping families apart. But it doesn't, you can't do that in anywhere else in the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's my issue with it. Also, it's not cool to pay people not what they're worth. You know, like these companies are literally paying some of these people something like $5 an hour when the minimum wage in California is $20 an hour, I believe. So, yeah, I don't get it. Also, something I was thinking about recently was, earlier in the year, last year, earlier in the year, there was so many people talking about the drones, the weird ass drones that were all over America, right? Even the president was talking about it. And then out of nowhere, people just stopped talking about the drones. And they just stopped showing up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You gotta tell these guys to shut the fuck up. Because they're gonna complain about safing and this and that. Shut your bitch ass up. This isn't no fucking I don't know what you thought this was, but I'm here to win. I'm not here to fucking help your dumb ass out. Nah, we're gonna safe. So shut the fuck up. There's in RuneScape, there's so many just crybaby bitches on this game. Soy boys, I like to call them. But yeah, don't let anybody in this game shame you out of safing. If they're good enough to KO you, then they're gonna KO you. If you're not good, I've never once complained about someone safing. And know what? Know who else has never complained? The best PKer in the game, Oda, has never complained about someone safing. Like, shut your bitch ass up. If you're not good enough to beat somebody, if they're eating on point, then that's on you. Get your skill up, kid. Get your skill up. But back to the drones. So everybody was talking about the drones earlier in the year, and then it just stopped. They just went away, and everyone just forgot about the drones. Like, what's that about? That was some weird shit. Never ever in my lifetime. Oh shit, we ate wrong. He was too pussy. He ate. He should have went for it, but he was too pussy there. Yup, and we're gonna eat to 110 just because he wants to complain about safing. So yeah, never in my lifetime has there been a bunch of fucking drones all over America that people are seeing, and then we just don't get an answer on it. And then everyone just forgets about it because everyone's living their life, trying to make money, trying to do whatever. But yeah, I really wonder what that was all about. What was those drones all about? A lot of weird shit going on. Here he comes with the Void Waker spec in a second. Whole lot of weird shit going on. But I just dropped the video on the UFC fights this weekend. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go check it out. Show some love. And if you're into MMA or UFC, especially if you bet on the fights, make sure you check out my bets and my picks, because made a lot of people a lot of money in the fight game. Last weekend, pretty much all my bets were correct. And this one with Buckley, I'm hearing that now he's the favorite. I believe earlier on he was the underdog, and now he's the favorite. But in my mind, I think Buckley is like damn near a lock. There's never a lock. I listened to Kamaru Usman's pre-fight conference, and he sounds good. He sounds confident. He sounds like he's taking it very serious. Sounds like he's fighting for the right reasons. That he's just fighting because he loves it. He wants to have that adrenaline rush and have that feeling. And it's not because of money or anything like that, So with that being said, he's saying all the right things, and he's still in his prime. I think it's funny how, mainly it has to do with all these new MMA fans who are in the game right now. Which I just dropped a video on that with the ESPN deal. Make sure you go check that out. But yeah, basically, all these new guys who are in the sport watching the sport. You're talking about, oh, this guy's out of his prime and blah, 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 blah. All right, so he loses one fight and then he's out of his prime. Makes no sense. No, he's the same guy he's always been. I don't think it's that he's out of his prime. I think it's that he's done these things. He's won the belts. He's done all that shit. So what's the point for him now, And when shit gets dicey in there, I don't think he's going to be willing to die in the cage like Buckley's going to be willing to die in the cage. Buckley, he's still trying to make it. Usman's already been there, done that. He's already made it. He's already been a champion. He's already made the multi-million-dollar fights. That was easily predictable. That was an easily predicted one. He's already done these fights. He's already done this shit. So at this stage, the only reason for him to be fighting would be if he loves it. Or he's looking for a challenge, or the fighting just brings stability to his life and he needs it to keep that stability in his life. Which a lot of fighters, do that, kind of like Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt is looking kind of soft leading up to his fight. Seen a picture of him, like his media day picture, and his midsection looked kind of soft. It's not a good sign, especially for someone at his weight. If it's a heavyweight, then it doesn't really matter as much. But also, it's still not a great sign. But someone in his weight class, he should be ripped up, especially because he's always come in great shape. So he's clearly in shape, but I forget who he's fighting, but it doesn't look good from what I've seen so far. And maybe he's injured. Maybe he just ate right before he took the picture, but he did look a little bit soft in the midsection. So when I'm picking fights, these are things that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fighter's motivation, their previous fights. Usman obviously is a competitor. He's going to want to win, especially after coming off of a couple of decision losses and stuff like that. He's going to want to win. But the thing is, when shit gets dicey in there, is he going to be willing to go as far as Buckley? I don't think so. Buckley, he's from the same place I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And so I kind of understand his mindset and where he's coming from, especially, this dude's risking bank. All right, here we go. Let's go. We're about to fuck this dude up. Especially because, so many people underestimate Buckley. So when it comes to fighting, a big part of it is you do need to be pissed off. At least for myself. I found myself being a much better fighter when I'm pissed off, especially when people don't support me and stuff like that. Like, when you have all the support, it's cool, but it really does, it can take some of your edge off. Because it's better to be, in my opinion, like Clubber Lang, where he's pissed off and he's like, yeah, no one supports me, but I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. That's a better spot to be in as a competitor, because you're angry, you're pissed off. And that's how Buckley is coming off. Nobody believes in him except for his team. He wants to do it. He wants to do it for his family. X, Y, and Z. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. But hey, fuck is what it is. He wasn't paying he wants to get it for his family. X, Y, and Z. So, on the other hand, with Usman's motivations are obviously he wants to do it. He wants to prove that he's not quote unquote washed, right? He wants to prove that he still is that champion. And I'm sure he wants to go in there and make some bucks as well. But I think when it comes down to it, Joaquin Buckley's motivation is going to be a little bit stronger than Usman's, especially because he's never had the belt before, especially because I don't believe Buckley even had like some big, beautiful competition background growing up. I'm gonna have to look into that, but I don't believe he was a state champion wrestler or a world champion in jiu-jitsu or even a national champion in jiu-jitsu or anything like that, or a Golden Gloves boxer. No, I think he just started fighting MMA and then continued to fight. And now he's starting to have big success after years in the game. So he has even more of a chip on his shoulder. As it were with Usman, Usman's always been good, from his wrestling days to the current days, to being quote unquote the best welterweight ever, which he's not the best welterweight ever because George St. Pierre clearly had more title defenses than he had and clearly fought tougher fighters. But that's just the business side of the UFC. They're always going to say the current guy is the best guy ever because they're trying to sell pay-per-views. And the new guys who come in, the new fans who come into the sport aren't going to know better. A lot of the new people in the sport right now never saw George St. Pierre fight. They didn't see GSP fight Thiago Alves. They didn't see GSP fight, BJ Penn. They didn't see these things. All they remember BJ Penn as being a guy who's freaking out, going crazy. And as a matter of fact, let's talk about BJ Penn. So BJ Penn was actually like one of my inspirations growing up. I remember when I was in high school and I started watching MMA, the first fight I ever watched was Tito versus Chuck Liddell. Fast forward a few years, I was actually training with Tito. And that was a trip to me because I was like, damn, you were the first fight I ever watched. And now we're training together. I helped him for his fight against Liam McGeary in Bellator. But anyways, a lot of these new guys, they never saw BJ Penn in his prime when he fought Diego Sanchez, when he was locked in. And BJ Penn was a guy who was never truly locked in. He was always, even on the countdown shows, they'd be like, hey, where's BJ at? And he's like partying, hanging out. He's disappearing for a while. And that's just what it comes with greatness sometimes. Greatness and madness sometimes go hand in hand. So with BJ freaking out, crashing out right now, I think it has to do with multiple things. Now, we're not going to say that he's on drugs because we don't know if he's on drugs, but other people have said that they suspected him of having an issue. And we have seen multiple fighters have an issue, And a big part of that is because fighting itself actually is like the biggest drug that there is. The adrenaline and the feeling you get from a fight, from a cage fight, especially a lot of you guys probably never fought before. I would imagine that none of you guys have ever fought before because it's a very rare thing. If you meet 100 people, maybe one of them have actually stepped into the cage. Actually, it's even less than that. If you meet 10,000 people, maybe 2 of them stepped in the cage. So not many people are going to understand what it feels like to go in there, especially to win, especially if you are coming off a loss and then you win. Like when Dominic Reyes came out and he finally got that knockout win after breaking that 4-fight losing streak of getting KO'd. I could only imagine what that felt like for him. Probably the highest high in the world. So going back to BJ Penn, that's why people are like, BJ Penn's on like an 8-fight losing streak. Why does he keep fighting? He's messing up his legacy, this and that. He's fighting because he wants that feeling. So that's the first thing. So we don't know if he really is on anything, but we have seen other fighters like Stephan Bonner, McGregor, allegedly, have an issue with the substances. So it's hard to say, but I think as time goes on, we might see this trend continue, you know. And recently, what's his name? Cahalho or whatever, one of the fighting nerds over there in Brazil, Ben Askren's on like critical condition or whatever right now, or he was. I don't know if he still is, but yesterday, Kahalo, I don't know how to say his fucking name, but he was talking about some rest in peace to Ben Askren. Now that's not cool at all. That's really not cool. If you don't know like the situation, especially if you don't know for sure that someone passed away, then you definitely shouldn't be saying stuff like that. Especially if you're just trying to get like tweets and stuff like that. That's something I completely disagree with, because you got people who are really friends with this guy, who are thinking that this dude passed away. Meanwhile, he's completely fine, or his family members might think he passed away. But that's crazy to me that Ben Askren is even in that situation. So if you don't know what's going on with Ben Askren, whoop that guy's ass. Destroyed him. So if you don't know what's going on with Ben Askren, apparently he had staph infection, and then it turned into pneumonia, or he had both at the same time, and he was in critical condition. And he was in the hospital, and it was pretty serious. It reminded me of Kevin Randleman back in the day. Kevin Randleman, also another wrestler, Olympic level wrestler, great fighter. Kevin Randleman at one point had he had a staph infection, and it was some crazy ass staph infection. It was MRSA, and he had literally a hole inside of his rib cage here, because the infection was so bad. They had to like really literally cut a hole into his rib cage. Absolutely insane. But when we see Ben Askren going through what he's going through, both dudes are wrestlers, and they both had some crazy ass infection. So that's weird to me as well. Is it wrestlers just dirty, or is it a thing where there's no way around it? Like they're gonna get staph infection. I don't know. I don't know. I've never had staph infection. I can't speak to that, but I know multiple fighters have had it. Like Dustin Poirier. I don't want to say it's a common thing, but it can be. What's his name? What's that dude name? Benoit Saint Denis had staph infection when he fought Dustin Poirier, allegedly. So, and then, oh damn, almost had him. And then Dustin Poirier when he fought, forget who he fought. Or no, I don't think he fought anybody. He just had staph infection in his foot that was like really bad at one point. So a lot of fighters getting staph. I don't know if it's a thing where the mats just aren't clean, or people aren't taking showers, or it's just really no way around it. It was going to happen regardless. But I almost had him again. But it goes to show that the whole Ben Askren thing is like, he's a young dude. Now imagine if he would have actually passed away. I believe he's like 40 years old, elite level athlete. And for him to get an infection like that and potentially be in a really bad situation, it just kind of shows that you have to be like grateful for your life, and you never know when things are gonna go left. So you can't really take anything for granted. You know what I'm saying? That's what I took from it. But back to Buckley. If you guys remember, like I dropped a video earlier And some dude in the comments was talking about, oh, Buckley's just an athlete. It's funny because they do this all the time. People will say this about me all the time. Oh, you're just really athletic. Okay, cool. But the problem is people say that shit so they can diminish your actual skills and knowledge of a sport, or your how smart you are, essentially. You know, so someone like Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods might be really good or great with golf, and they'll say he's just athletic. Or someone like LeBron James, they'll be like, oh, he's athletic. Now watch what these guys have in common. Someone like Francis Ngannou, they'll be like, whoa, Francis Ngannou is just really athletic. Like being athletic is something that's just fucking given to you at birth or some shit. And being athletic makes you just so much of a better fighter than people that you're just able to whoop people's ass. The fuck out of here. That's not what the fighting is. You need to have more than just being a fucking athlete to be able to be a fighter, and to be a good one at that. You know? So that's what really pisses me off when people say that shit, you know? Because it's like, I understand what you're saying, you know? You're essentially saying he's only a good fighter because he's black or some shit. That's basically what you're saying. And it's not because he studied the game. And, you know, some people would be like, oh, that's a compliment. Problem is, it's not a compliment. You're diminishing his skill set. You're diminishing what he's accomplished, you know? So I just find that interesting. And that's one of the reasons why, to me, Buckley is up there to become the next champion. So many people, including myself, have underestimated him. You know, I didn't think that he was going to be able to beat Kobe Covington. To keep it a buck, to keep it 1,000. You know, I didn't think he was going to be able to beat Kobe. But he whooped Kobe's ass. He destroyed Kobe. So when you look at it, and WHMMA actually posted a highlight of Buckley, you know, some of his best knockouts. Like, this dude's knocked out really good fighters. And I don't care how much of an athlete you are. You could bring any gymnast in the MMA. You could bring any basketball player, any football player in the MMA, put them in a cage with Francis Ngannou. They're going to get their ass whooped. So don't tell me he's a great fighter because he's athletic. No, he's a great fighter because he's tougher than you guys. He's a great fighter because he's focused. He's a great fighter because he wants it. He's a great fighter because he believes in it. That's why he's a great fighter. It's not because he's a quote-unquote athlete or whatever the fuck. You know? That's just diminishing his skill set. But for all you new people, hit that like button and come to World 18 if you want to get pieced up. I'm whooping ass all night. So if you want to get pieced up and get your bank taken, come to World 18. You guys know where to find me. But let's talk about the ESPN deal. You know, it's quote unquote Pride Month, right? So, you know, over here on this side, that means Pride Fighting Championships. That's the only we just cooked him. Almost KO'd this dude. That was nasty. So you guys know over here on this side, Pride Month to us just means Pride FC, Pride Fighting Championships. And I was going back and looking at some of those old fights at Pride Fighting Championships, and what stood out to me was, like, for example, a guy named Kazushi Sakuraba fought, right? He's known as the Gracie Killer, you know, because he beat so many Gracies. And when he fought, they literally put together a whole timeline of who he was. When he lost, he's coming back. it had lore, it had like a storyline. Nope, that ain't gonna work, kid. That ain't gonna work. It had a whole storyline. So it was like an anime, like a real life anime. You know what I'm saying? And it was in Japan, of course, so they loved the storylines. But so like WWE had storylines. The problem with the UFC and the ESPN deal, you're trying to make um you're trying to make MMA into a sport when it's not a sport. It's more than a sport. So that's my issue with it. It makes it boring. You know, when they came in and they took all the like the fighters' original clothing or shorts, fight shorts, and then they put on these super corporatized, shorts. It's just goofy to me because this sport is an individual sport, quote unquote. It's not like other sports, and you can see, they tried to come back with it where they let certain fighters wear customized shorts, like the champions or the contenders. They let them wear shorts that are a little bit different, and it's more unique to them. But ultimately, I think it does more harm than good. And I think one of the main reasons that they do it is because they don't want the fighters being so. They don't want a lot of fighters being able to make a lot of money, and they don't want a lot of fighters to be able to build their brand to a certain degree. So you make everybody look the same and be the same. Now you don't have to worry about a fighter becoming as big as like Conor McGregor or something like that. But on the opposite side with the fans, it weakens the sport. It weakens the product. Oh, this dude's cooked. Oh, he got crazy lucky there. That would have been a nice KO. So yeah, it just weakens the product. And I think when they go to Netflix, if they go to Netflix, they gotta get away from this idea of trying to make it like a sport. They made their money already. They've done the UFC sale. They did all that shit. So now, we got him. He's cooked. Ah, shit, lucky as hell. So now, I think they should go back to the old school days. Like the first fight I ever saw was Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz. And for you guys who don't know, if you guys watch MMA, chime in as well. What do you think? Who are your favorite fighters? You think ESPN deal is bad for the sport, good for the sport? But the first fight I ever seen was Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell. And what stood out to me right away was Tito Ortiz's hair and his fight shorts. He had the flame fight shorts, and that was his brand. That's who he was. So the fight shorts is actually a big deal. It's actually a really big deal, and it's one of the things that makes the show and puts the show together. Something as little as the fight shorts and as subtle as the fight shorts. So I'm gonna switch up my gear right now. I'm gonna put on Oath Plate because this dude, he's wearing noob gear. So I think if we just have max slash bonus, I'll be able to get him out of here quick. I'm gonna switch over to a DDS. Actually, I'm a risk. I got a God Sword. I should have a God Sword. Oh man, we gotta go buy God Swords. Damn, that's crazy. You know what? Actually, no. I'm going to wear the vest along. So yeah, so the fight shorts is actually a really big deal. And now this dude's in Void. Right, we're gonna see if the Vesta long is any good. It's funny because like if I wear max gear like this, it seems like I don't hit the same sometimes. Yeah, sometimes if I'm with the AGS, whatever, I'm gonna hit an 80. But you would think like in this gear, when I spec, I should be hitting like big shots every single time. But nah, I'm hitting 48s. You hear what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And I should be hitting every single time because he's in void. There's no way I should be hitting zeros. But this is what happens. Like, you know, you end up hitting super low hits when you're in max gear. And he's in void. And he's hitting like pretty good hits. Compare like in comparison. So I'm gonna switch it up. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my damage setup, which is full Vesta with this, with the whip. Cause I'm trying to get max DPS, especially as dudes in void. We got to get him out of here. I'm gonna wear, the Vesta Spear. The Vesta Spear is super underrated, highly underrated. All right, we're gonna get him out of here this time. Dude's taking too long. All right, here we go. But yeah, so that's my thing about the ESPN deal. That's my issue with it. And, you know, you have so many of these new fans who came into the sport who don't know what the fuck they're looking at, you know? Oh, he has a red skull now. Okay. Oh, he fucked up. He fucked up big time. He's wearing a red skull. Oh, no, that's a completely different guy. All right, here we go. He's dead. He's cooked. Wow. You have to be shitting me. You have to be fucking shitting me. So that's my thing about the ESPN deal. One thing I think is really dope though is ONE FC. They're on Amazon Prime. And I think that was like a great move. Hell of a move. Because they're putting on great shows. And I know a few dudes who fought ONE FC. And ONE FC actually is, believe it or not, the biggest MMA brand in the world. It might not feel like, because in America, UFC is obviously the biggest brand. But, you know, but in Asia, there's so many people. And they're watching ONE FC. Not only are they watching ONE FC, but, you know, ONE FC also does like striking sports. ONE FC also does striking sports. So, you know, you get elite level Muay Thai mixed in with the MMA. And UFC doesn't do that. So every clip I see on Instagram of ONE FC, they're just having these crazy ass brawls. They got really good fighters. Some guys from the UK who are out there just throwing bombs, throwing hands. I'm gonna switch up the style. I'm gonna use the Soul Reaper axe with my current setup. But yeah, man, like it's crazy. Sometimes I'm in this gear and it just doesn't hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Soul Reaper axe with the Ring of Suffering, and the special weapon is going to be the Vesta Spear. Should be interesting. At the end of the day, we're just PKing for fun. So, still want to get kills, but Main thing is to have fun. All right, so we're gonna keep it on stab bonus. Boom. And the thing about the Vesta Spear is it's really actually the best weapon, but it's only the best if you have full Vesta with it. Otherwise, then it's kind of mid. But when you have full Vesta, then it's really good. Because you hit like a 55 and then you hit a 40 right after, and it's like a G Maul essentially. That is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It's a great weapon. But yeah, ONE FC has a hell of a show. And lately, you know, I've been watching a lot of kickboxing lately. I've been training a lot of kickboxing and watching a lot of kickboxing. I'm really enjoying watching things like Glory and ONE FC because the fights are really just more entertaining. Not that a striking fight is all that. Obviously, I love jiu-jitsu, I love wrestling, I love grappling. But when you watch Glory, which you got, if you guys have never seen, watch like some of Alex Perez fights in Glory. Then it's pretty exciting. You know, it's way more exciting than a lot of UFC fights. This guy pot sipper, he's probably not gonna skull. Yeah, he's not gonna skull. So should I just go get in skull gear and piece him up? The thing is though, I feel like Pking in this gear. You guys let me know. Should I switch or not? I'll wait. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Keep the gear. All right, so we're gonna keep the gear. He's talking about matching risk. I'm not even gonna acknowledge him. I'm not even going to acknowledge him. We're gonna sit here and I'm just gonna talk to you guys. So what is it talking about? ONE FC. ONE FC is great. Also, Ryzen is great. I know a few dudes actually. One of my friends named Spike, who fights over there in Ryzen in Japan, and it's a great show. You know, there's so much more in the world than just the UFC, you know, when it comes to MMA organizations and stuff like that. There's a lot of shows out there in the world. Even in like the Middle East, you know, there's not Eagle FC, but I believe it's called actually I don't know what it's called. I'm not even gonna try to think about what it's called. But there's not many noobs to kill tonight. So this dude, all right, we're gonna cook this dude up. He's one of those noobs in the fucking he's an idiot. I'm gonna skip him. He says he's gonna swap. All right, wait for him to run out, and then we're gonna skip him. Goofy, goofball. So yeah, let's talk about the welterweight division. Kamaru Usman, Buckley. I don't think Usman is going to regain the title. I just don't see it. Not because he's not good or whatever. I just don't see it personally. You know, I think the next person to hold a title will either be Buckley or Morales, Michael Morales. Make sure you hit that like button as well. So, or Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's now in the mix as well. So, Kevin Holland just had his fight with Vicente Luque. Great fight. You know, he put him in a chokehold. Kevin Holland has great jiu-jitsu, highly underrated. You know, he got his black belt from Travis Lutter. Travis Lutter, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the game. You know, back in the day when he was fighting, he was in the UFC, and he had a fight with Anderson Silva. But he was known for just amazing jiu-jitsu. So I don't know why this dude's saying GL. Like, we're here to fight, aren't we? So fucking fight, you know? Don't be a dumbass. Here we go. So yeah, that's my thing. You know, if you guys don't know how to fight, make sure you watch some of my other videos. I have some he's about to spec. You can see that coming a mile away. Yeah, bitch. Nice try, bitch. Those eats were on point. Now he's cooked. Yep, it's over with. I don't get it. I don't get it. We're in max gear. The second spec should have hit. But yeah, Kevin Holland, I think, has a really good chance of also becoming a champion because, you know, for the longest, he was saying he didn't want to become champion, blah, blah, blah. I think that's all cap. Him committing to being 170 pounds, I think it's probably one of the best things that he could have ever done. And he's going to compete 10 times better at that weight class. So I'm gonna switch my weapon over to a Noxus halberd because I'm just trying to cause as much damage as possible. If I get a hit where he's poisoned with the recoil, with the venge, with everything, then he's cooked. You know, the Noxus halberd, in my opinion, is also a better weapon than the Soul Reaper. The Soul Reaper is cool because it has that special effect where it heals you, but it like rarely ever hits. In my experience with it, it rarely ever hits big. It can sometimes, but it really is just not. It's not all that. So Kevin Holland, I think there's a very good chance that he becomes a welterweight champion as well. You know, he's obviously a guy who is solidified in the game. So I don't think it'll really take him many fights, many more wins, maybe like 2 more wins, and I think he would be able to fight for the title. 2 wins against like some good guys. Ooh, 62. See what I'm saying? The halberd is a better weapon than the axe, even though the axe is like 400 mil. And that's the thing. It's not always about how much something is. All right, here we go. I'm about to cook him up in a second here. Now he's poisoned. So we're doing a lot of DPS right now. We just need to get... fuck, man. This fucking spear is not hitting tonight. I don't get it. But look at the gear bros. The gear bros, and he's in fucking rock plate with rune shoes, and the sting isn't hitting. Makes no sense. Yeah, usually I would have killed him by now. Maybe it's because I'm on stream that now somehow these guys get lucky and they don't get killed because they're on stream. It's like some weird glitch in the matrix. But I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. I don't know. Shit's annoying as fuck. After this, I'm about to go hit the gym. I'm gonna do some kickboxing. There we go. Let's go. He's about to come with the special in a second here. That was the best time for him to throw it. Now he missed his opportunity. Now he's cooked. He's gonna end up running because there's no way he's exactly, and he had no time to use his special. There's just no way that he was gonna win that. You know, now he's gonna use extended anti venom. So now I'm gonna switch back to I'm gonna switch it over to the whip now. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch it over to a void waker. Actually, so you got to keep them on their toes. You know, once they think they got you figured out, you got to come with something else. In life and in RuneScape, you know, you got to keep these fuckers on their toes. Don't let them know how you're coming. You know, RuneScape actually taught me a lot of life lessons. You know, in a weird way. Taught me about stock market. Taught me about my spending habits, because the spending habits I have in the game can sometimes translate to real life spending habits. Taught me about like hard work in a weird way, because if you like, my first 99 ever was fishing. So if you know about fishing, especially back in the day, there wasn't all these, like, you know, better training methods to get a 99. You had to grind that shit out. It took me a few years to get 99 fishing, and that's all I would do. I would go PK. I would either make money or lose money, and then I would just go fish after and get the money back, and then go PK again. And that's literally all I did on the game. And it was a shit ton of fun. Back in the day, in the original old school RuneScape, before EOC and all that shit. But one thing I think that would make the game funner and better, I think they should, oh, he's cooked. He's fucked. He's dead. Oh, you have to be fucking shitting me. See what I'm saying? The moment I get on stream, like, that dude, 10 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, he would have been dead. But since I'm on stream, he survives by 1 HP. It's crazy. It's crazy. But they're trying to make the game funner. I think they should bring back summoning. You know, a lot of people are talking about this sailor skill or whatever. Fuck all that. They should bring back summoning, and then in certain areas, or they should make like a mini game where in this specific mini game, you can fight in a hybrid style with, that's not going to work, Bubba. It's not going to work. Come on, dog. But in this specific mini game or certain areas of the game, you have like these abilities. Now, I'm not talking about like EOC. In certain areas of the game, like, for example, some people don't like summoning. Okay, cool. Only allow it in certain areas of the game, or like, ooh, that was nasty. That was nasty. Fucked them up. Finally. But so let me cook with my theory here. In certain areas of the game, you have abilities, right? So if you're fighting another player, you can do summoning, you can do like a mage melee combo, or range melee combo, or range mage combo with your summoning. And then, you know, we only have 99 hit points, so in this area, you know, you have certain summonings like the unicorn back in the day that are able to heal you faster, but you have these abilities in these specific areas, and you don't change it. You don't make it like EOC. You still have 99 hit points. You still have everything the same. You just have, it's just more of a complex a way to play with the summoning and with like a mage combination with the melee. I think that would be cool as fuck. Or even like you have specific modes that you can get into. You know, like you have like a sage mode you could get into, or you have a certain ability that you can achieve that you can fight with in the game. I think that would be dope. But the way you make everybody happy is you can only do this in certain areas of the game. So you can make it like a mini game like Bounty Hunter, where Bounty Hunter, you have your weapons that you can only use in Bounty Hunter. But you make another PvP game that you can use summoning, you can use hybrid mage. Like, for example, what they did with the Void Waker. What they did with the Void Waker was great. That's the first time they ever did that. And it's like one of the most popular weapons. You know, a mage melee combination. Now do that with range. Like you have a range attack, but it's combined with melee. Or you have your summoning, right? That is a major, but you're in melee or something like that. I feel like that would be dope as fuck. I feel like that would be super fun and that would be super cool. And it would be interesting because sometimes a game can get boring because, you know, we only have so many ways to play. So if you add these things in, then it adds a new element to the game. We're about to cook this dude up as well. All right, here we go. Let's lock in for a second. Let's get his dumb ass out of here. Terrible hit. I bet this dude has an AGS as well. But you know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think about that? You think that would be fun? And if you don't like it, then you just don't play the mini game then. You know what I'm saying? And that way everybody's happy. And that way Jagex, they can you know, find different ways to make the game still interesting. You know, which they're doing a good job, but at a certain point, you know, like for example, they put out the Oath Plate gear. Cool. It's cool, but is it really that much different from like Torva? You know, is it really like, okay, if you have Oath Plate gear, then it should have like a special effect on it. You know, something like that. Similar to the Bounty Hunter gear, how it has a special effect. Look at this goofball right here. He's trying to set me up with the Venge stack. So it's not gonna work. He's about to get KO'd. Look, of course he ran. Of course he ran out too. Punk ass. All right, so that's what I think. I think that would be fucking cool, you know? Because back in the day, I enjoyed summoning. And you could use summoning not just for PvP, but you use it for other skills, like, you know, different shit, you know? So I think that would be dope, especially for PVM. That would make PVM more interesting to someone like me who only likes Pking. If you had, which, yeah, you have like the thralls or whatever, but it's just not really the same thing that I'm talking about, you know? All right, here we go. Let me lock in right now. I'm gonna try to get this dude out of here quick. Get him out of here real quick. When he hit a 70. Man, I was PKing one time and this dude with the Void Waker hit a 77 on me. I was fucking shocked. I had no idea that it could hit that high. He obviously had He had a what's it called? Altar ring on. That's the only way you're able to hit that high, but it was impressive. Hit that like button as well. All the new people out there. So for you guys who don't know me, I'm a professional fighter. Also just happen to be one of the best players in Runescape. I whoop people's ass, make them run like little bitches. And tonight, we're high stakes PKing. So if you are playing the game right now and you want to get that work, show up in World 18, Bounty Hunter, and you can get your ass whooped as well. Drop a like as well. Don't forget. But yeah, one thing about this game, it probably really is like one of the most successful games of all time. This game has been around for so long, and it's stood the test of time. It's remained, the mechanics of the game that make it successful have remained the same. And there's still a lot of people who play this game, and a lot of people who are still coming into the 2025 who never played it before and are starting to play it. So that's not many games can really say that, you know. I mean, I think games like Diablo or whatever can, but it's just a great game. All right, we'll try to get him out of here. Let's go. Got him. Sit down. Got his ass. Sometimes you gotta risk it, you know. It's a 7 mil. Bury the bones. We always bury the bones. Quick 7 miller. You know, now we're warmed up. Now we're going. The other night, I KO'd some dude for it was like 400 mil. Super lucky. Sometimes you just get lucky, you know. Sometimes when you're risking a lot, you get unlucky as well. It's very interesting. But we're gonna go back out there. So now we're up 10 mil. And it seems that the Void Waker is the way to go. You know, it makes sense why everybody uses it. I just don't like to use the same weapons everybody uses. But the Void Waker, objectively speaking, is a great weapon. You know, it's guaranteed to hit and whatnot. So it is a great weapon. I just don't like it because everybody uses it. You know what I'm saying? So it's annoying to me. Hit that like button as well. But let's talk about some real shit now. So if you don't know how to fight, for you guys who are new in the chat, never met me before, I'm a professional fighter. Check out some of my other videos. You'll learn how to fight. If you're a man, if you're a grown man and you've never been in a fight before, or you don't know how to fight, that's pathetic. If you don't need to have been in a fight, but you need to know how to fight as a man. Like, imagine one day you have a wife, you have kids, or maybe you already have a wife and kids, and some man comes up and wants to take something from you, wants to take your lunch money, wants to take whatever from you, and you don't know how to use these right here. You don't know how to use these things. Yeah, you can have weapons as well, of course, but every man should know how to use these. Actually, every person should know how to use them, period. So if you don't and you're unconfident and you walk into a room and you feel weak and timid, get your ass over to my page and learn how to fight. That's why it says that right there. Learn to fight. That's what we do. We teach people how to fight. And we teach them how to grow big balls. Big balls. So we're about to whoop this guy's ass as well. This goofball right here. Let's get him out of here. We're just gonna spec him early. Let's just run. Let's just try to get him out of here quick. Get his dumb ass out of here. Get him out. We're not even gonna eat. Let's go. All right, now we're gonna eat. That was well played by him. But we were spazzing out for a second there. We were spazzing out. You know, this is how you do it, you know. With these noobs in BH who like to wear this shitty ass gear. They like to wear the shitty ass gear and then like Venge combo. All that shit gets nullified when you have like this type of setup, because they never get a chance. They never get a chance to set up that attack because they're constantly getting hit. Now, the way I'm going to kill this guy is with the Vestus Spear. This is my true combo. Even better, much better than the Void Waker. Actually, nah, we're gonna keep the Void Waker because the Void Waker is just so fucking good. We're gonna keep the Void Waker. Hey, hit that like button. New people in the chat, I see you. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't be a weirdo. Hit that like button. I'm whooping people's ass on stream, you know. And make sure you subscribe if you're new. Learn how to fight. And I'm not talking RuneScape. I'm talking real life. So here we go. All right, we're back. This time, so I got to change my boots because we're risking bank. I mean, I'll risk it. I don't give a fuck. You guys know me, but I don't think this guy deserves it. And he's pissing me off. So I'm going to spaz out on this dude quick. I'm going to get him out of here fucking quickly. Real quickly. All right, shit, I brought my spear. I didn't need to bring that. All right, here we go. I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I should have just kept my original setup. But actually, I like this setup. So yeah, we got pieced up right there, but this setup is so much DPS. I'm gonna keep it. I didn't need to risk the Vestus Spear, so that was dumb on my part. But we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do this shit again. All right, I'm gonna show you how it's done. Show you guys how to PK. But hey, any of you guys in the chat watch UFC or MMA? And who's your favorite fighter? And have any of you guys in the chat seen any of my fights? Drop a 1 in the chat. All right, here we go. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to switch it up. Try to get some people with the poison. And you always got to wear an ancient blessing on here as well. It makes a huge difference. It's super hard to get smites with that WHMMA with the 1 in the chat. All right, here we go. We're going back out there with this new setup. Let's cook somebody up. Let's whoop somebody's ass. And if you don't know, I'm the best PKer in the game. Might have just died. That we're not going to acknowledge that. We're not going to talk about that. I'm the best PKer in the game, period. World 18. Come get some. Here we go. If you guys want to see some of my day-to-day training, you can follow me on Instagram. Same name, Emanuele Adzo, at Emanuele Adzo. All right, here we go. Let's get it. Same setup, 18 mil risk. 18 miller. We get a couple kills. We get 1 kill. We get the money back. So I'm not even worried about that. I could go to high risk world. And if I really don't want to die, like boom, I just put this on right here and I basically will never die. But I don't feel like doing that right now. But maybe because I want to get a smite. I want to get a smite. So we're not going to put on the redemption prayer right now. But if you guys ever see me PKing, that redemption prayer, that's another thing. There should be more options here. I think these options are great, but this game's been around for fucking 20 something years. Like there should be more options. You know what I'm saying? Like more interesting options. All right, here we go. Fighting at 125. So with this guy, my strategy is he has an AGS. We're gonna try to poison him right off the bat. All right, he's poisoned now. It's gonna take a minute for it to set in. And now I'm gonna do massive damage on him. Forgot to pot up. That was a bad spec. Let's zone in here. Nope. Of course he runs like a bitch. Fucking coward. If you spec and run, you're a pussy. Like, be a man and fight like a man. Hit that like button. So that time, our strategy didn't work, but it's going to work. This is going to cause so much DPS that he's not going to be able to survive it. And he's going to be like, how the fuck is he hitting me so many times? Because I'm the best, my guy. I'm just fucking me. I'm not the best. I'll be humble. But I am pretty fucking good. I've been doing this shit for a minute. A long fucking time, actually. MMA and Runescape. That's literally it. You know? All right, let's get it. I'm about to zone in. I'm about to lock in right now. And this guy isn't really risking anything worth smiting. So I'm gonna put the redemption prayer on so you guys can see. With the Gmaul AGS combo, this nullifies that. Fuck, we did. Damn it. Fuck. I'm getting fucking cooked right now. Shit. All right, we're gonna switch it up. What the fuck is going on? Now we're gonna go in poor man gear. We got absolutely cooked just now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. Getting our ass whooped. I mean, that was a good setup. That was a good setup on him. You know, good on him. We're gonna go old school with it. You know, you guys know I always risk 10 mil. You know, we go old school with the new school. Oath plate with the whip and a DDS. With the primordial boots, Fury, which is old school. I'm going to use the warrior ring for right now and the DDS. And the Vernic Defender, of course. So this is our setup. This is our new setup. 193/bonus. So it's pretty good. We should hit consistently, regularly. And actually, I'm going to use. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it with the DDS. And the Vesta Spear is our finishing blow, finishing move. And this isn't all my money for you guys who are like, oh, you only have 70 mil. Nah, I got much more than this. Much more. All right, here we go. Let's try to get another kill right now. Matter of fact, I should have an AGS. I don't know. Could have sworn I had an AGS, man. Nah, all right, we're gonna go get an AGS. For when we start risking again big, a lot of times I risk an AGS. We get 2 of them. We'll get 3 of them. All right, here we go. We're going back. So this is the new setup. Instead of the DDS, I'm gonna go with the AGS. Great weapon, by the way. Especially in the oath plate gear. All right, here we go. So we're risking a good amount of money. So if anybody wants to test it, you know where to find me. World 18. All right, let's get it. Always brew up, extended anti-venom, extended anti-fire, and now we're back. All right, let's do it. Hit that like button as well if you haven't hit that like button yet. It's greatly appreciated. Just trying to get 100 people in the chat. Hit that like button. All right, this guy, Fuzzy Reaper. Fuzzy, I already cooked this dude from what I recall. Where he whooped his ass. Let's talk some shit while we're at it. All right, we got an opponent. Another 125. I'm going to eat right now. All right, it's a Void Waker. All right, let's go. Shut up, bitch. It's so annoying when people do this. Like, oh, God. Like, shut the fuck up and fight. I don't even talk back to him. I'm going to act like I'm muted. All right, let's go, kid. It makes you remain mysterious. All right, we're going to hit an 80 on this dude. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, here we go. Yeah, that ain't going to work, dog. Let's go, Bubba. Let's go, Bubby. All right, got to kill him fast before he gets his let's go. How? Yeah, that was crazy chance. He got lucky as fuck there. You know how many times in this setup I've hit people with 80s, 82s? Just to be safe. Boom. What do you guys think of this setup? You got me bruised. I'm ready for war. I'm like Rambo out here. The Black Rambo. No hands. Ugh. Eat right quick. Boom. Pick that up off the ground. Boom. Whoop his ass. Boom, boom. Right there. All day. But yeah, so let's go back to UFC talk, because that's my world. Um, a lot of people are talking about John Jones versus Tom Aspinall right now. I think it's going to be the biggest fight of the year. Obviously, I think the fight's going to happen. There's just so much. 200 something thousand people signed a petition for that fight. So whenever they announce that that fight is actually going to happen, it's going to be insane. It's going to be huge. So he has another void wake respect. He's trying to act like he doesn't, but I know that he does. So this dude's trying to play like the long game. But now I'm back with my AGS. I'm gonna wait. I could one hit him right now, actually. Of course it doesn't hit. Here he goes. Yeah. Knew it. You know what? I'm gonna get a light bearer. That might be better for this setup. Like just spamming the AGS, big hits. It's almost better to just be in new gear, because so many people it's for me, it's more fun if it's high stakes, high risk. That's what I like. I think that's more fun. But a lot of people, they don't risk shit in this game, which is understandable as well. I mean, like last night, I was fighting a dude, and it was crazy. We had I risked the oath plate helm. He risked the oath plate helm, and primordial boots. Long story short, I died, but earlier in the night, I got like a 400 mil kill. So, but that's what makes the game fun to me. Let me lock in here. We're going to try to hit him with an 80. So he's going to use his spec soon because he kind of needs to, because his whole setup, his whole thing is to try to get 3 specs. That's his whole strategy. Is he's just trying to like play a long game, get 3 specs, and hopefully smite me. So he's about to spec right here in a second. Yeah. He tried the Invisivenge, but he failed. But again, like this is his strategy. He's trying to pretend that he's a noob. Too slow. Yep, now he's gonna have a 3rd spec coming. In about 45 seconds, he's gonna have a 3rd spec. And another thing you could do is, you can, on someone's Venge, you can brew, get your strength a little bit lower so you don't hit high. And then boom. So now I know he doesn't have another spec, but he does have another mace special attack. So yeah, he's gonna have to run. And I'm gonna switch up. I'm gonna switch up the gear. I'm gonna put on look at this goofball. He thinks this shit's gonna work. Got him. Got him. Got his ass. So it's just a little bullshit 1 mil. But we're back. So I have an idea. We're going to keep this gear on for now. For now, we're going to keep this on. And then I'm gonna switch it up. I have an idea that could work pretty well. So I'm gonna keep my warrior ring on for now. Hopefully we get somebody who wants to risk a decent amount. All right, here we go. We're back in there. Let's get it. But yeah, I feel like Mage is just so underutilized. Like, yeah, they've done a lot to Magic to make it really powerful. But in a game like Bounty Hunter, it's not really like viable to use Magic. You know what I'm saying? For most people. So that's why I think switching up the game a little bit would work good. So we have or adding more mini games in could work pretty well. All right, here we go. We got a fight coming. Bro's coming in a minute. Here we go. Let's get it. I'm probably like the only MMA fighter on RuneScape. The only professional MMA fighter on RuneScape. All right, let's get it. Let's find a victim. We're just gonna space time teleport to this dude. Let's see. This dude looks free. I'm a taunt him as well. Yep. So I'm gonna fight this dude. I'm going to get into that gear I told you about earlier. So now I'm gonna show you the power of void armor. Or do I want to do void? Yeah, I'm gonna do void because he doesn't deserve it. He's not risking shit. We're gonna go noob style. We're gonna put it void on with the Ring of Suffering combination. I'm not even gonna put the Fury on because this dude's such a fucking. Oh wow, he skipped. What a bum. What a clown. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys. Right now I like this setup, but in soon we're going to switch it over to the Soul Reaper with the AGS. And this is a great setup because it's just so much damage, like big hits. You know, this is how I got that 400 mil. The AGS mix with the Soul Reaper, so much damage, big hits. Like if you like, I can hit an 83 and then hit a 71 back to back. Like you're not going to survive that. And if you do, you're probably going to be smited. And you can continue to get these big hits off. So I don't really need to have this spear. I'm gonna put the spear back in the bank, and we're just gonna risk the AGS. You know, we're not gonna give these dudes too much. You know, if I bring the spear out, it'll be because I feel like risking more. So right now, I'm risking 40 mil. Yeah, I'm risking bank right now. I gotta put this ring back. That's what it is. And this guy doesn't risk shit, so we're not gonna risk 40 mil for this Fruit Loop. I'm gonna go ahead and put this ring back. I'm gonna grab a DDS. I am going to put on a brimstone. All right, let's get it. We're gonna get a nasty kill on this dude. A brutal, disgusting kill on this dude. Watch this. This is gonna be nasty, guys. Here it comes. Ah, damn. I was hoping that we would hit him with like an 85. Eat up right there. Here he comes. 2 zeros. And you know, in this setup, I can hit 50s, 51s, I believe, at the whip. Or my max, I think, was 52. What does this guy say? I'll literally sit both of you. You know, this is the funnest part, is talking shit. Look at that right there. 50 something right there. Boom. I'm slapping the fuck out of this dude. Mini slapping the absolute fuck out of him right now. And we're not going to switch it either. We're going to keep the whip going. We're going to taunt him as well. Slaphead. That's what we'll call him. Slaphead. His name is Mini Slaps. He's a slaphead. That's what he is. That's what they say in the UK. I mean, I know a few of you guys in the chat are from the UK. So I love the slang and the terminology out there. Slaphead. He's nothing but a sausage. He's just a little sausage. So about to go whoop this sausage's ass. And hopefully we get a smite as well. They call me a bully in the chat. Yeah, I'm bullying him. That's for sure. Oh damn, he just got destroyed. All right, let's go. Let's go. And I don't want to spoil you guys too much, but you know, peep the watch, peep the game. You know, I don't want to spoil you guys too much. Too much, but let's whoop this guy's ass. I might cook him up. Now I feel like I'm in flow state. I'm about to be in flow state in a second here. All right, we're getting in the flow state. Let's go. Fuck. All right, let's go. Bro's entering flow state right here. Yeah, this shit wasn't gonna work, doggy. Let's go. Let's go. Shitty ass hits. But the kid is still in flow state. Let's go. Let's get him. Now we're just gonna keep the whip on. I'm not gonna change my weapon. We're just gonna keep the whip on. We're gonna fuck him up. I don't get it. Bro's in dog shit gear and he's hitting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's fucking go. He says, men. Yeah, bitch. Run. You can run, but you can't. I love it when they run. I swear I love it when they run. It turns me on slightly. Pause. Late night edition. Manny at late night. But for all you new guys in the chat, we playing RuneScape right now, but hey, I'm a professional fighter, black belt in jiu-jitsu. If you want to learn how to fight, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And I'm not talking about RuneScape, I'm talking about real life fighting. You know, I post a lot of different techniques, a lot of different concepts when it comes to fighting. We got the UFC fights this weekend. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. And we will be doing a fight companion with that as well. Who knows? Maybe I'll play RuneScape while we're watching the fights. You know, maybe we'll get real crazy. I've never seen somebody do that before. Play RuneScape while watching the UFC fights. That could be pretty interesting. Ooh. Yeah, the kid's in flow state. Let's go. Let's get him out of here. And now we're gonna switch it to the DDS. Cause he's about to try to combo me out in a second here. I can feel it coming. Right there. Boom. The DDS is underrated, man. It's a classic weapon. I believe it was the first weapon in RuneScape, you know? And it's just a great weapon. You know, I believe it's the only one that can hit like 100s. All the old school classic weapons like DH and the DDS, you know, and the whip are all great weapons still to this day, you know. I think something that they should do with some of the old classic weapons and the old classic sets, like for example, could you imagine if they upgraded DH, or like they gave you the same way they did with the whip, like you have the tentacle you put on the whip. Now there should be some type of, you know, Barrows pack that you could put on top of your weapon. I feel on top of your either your DH weapon that looks cooler, or it changes the entire set. Come on, dog. What the fuck was that? Was terrible. Now we're gonna spec him out. Let's get his dumb ass out of here. Get him out of here. I'm not even gonna look. I'm not even gonna look at the screen. Get him the fuck out of here. You know, so I think that would be sick. They did it with the whip. They did it with the Sarah sword. Why not do it with the DH? Because these are old school classic weapons that have been around for so long. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe in the older RuneScape back in the day, there was another Barrows brother like later on. I think they should bring that back in as well. Maybe even create a Barrows brother fusion set, you know, with all the sets combined that has some crazy ass effect. That would be sick, and it looks dope. That would be really fucking cool. I don't know, like, where Jagex's like where they get their ideas from, but they should fucking like take my advice. As soon as bro gets low enough, I'm gonna fucking spec him out. Let's go. Give me an 80. This guy's pissing me off. Let's go. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Like, yeah, DH is cool. It's great. You don't have to get rid of it. Just add another cool set. That might even be like the best armor in the game, where you just combine all the Barrows brothers, or you create some type of like Barrows sword or some shit. You know, I think that could be really fucking cool. Like a Barrows sword or some Barrows weapon, or some weapon that has a special effect that puts you into like a sage mode or puts you into some type of rage mode or some shit, puts you into Super Saiyan mode. You know, I think that could be pretty cool, actually. And I think that would bring more life into the game, which there's plenty of life in the game already. You know, I feel like it's like a fine connoisseur type game. You know, most people who play this game have been playing it for years and are into it, you know. So regardless of if you quit, you know, most people come back to the game at some point, you know. So that's what I think. I'm just thinking of ways to make the game better, you know, and more fun. Please do. Hopefully we KO this dude and we take everything from him. All right, he's pissing. We might have to switch the whole style up. I'm gonna switch it up because we're not doing enough damage on him. Like we got to get this dude out of here. All right, so I'm gonna switch up the style. I'm gonna keep the AGS, but we're gonna add poison in. All right, this time we're gonna get him out of there. So this might be a little bit more dangerous because this weapon obviously hits very high. So I'm giving him a chance to potentially venge combo. But the idea that I'm running off of is just doing maximum damage. Like we're just going blitzkrieg, you know, like World War II. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let me zoom in. You gay? What you say? He said I'm a gaggle. I'm gonna call him a sausage. I'm gonna call him a sausage, as the boys in the UK say. So that's what I wanted. Now he's poisoned. Now we're gonna get some serious damage on this dude. Ooh. You guys see that? See, and in this setup, that was his max hit. So as long as I eat to right where his max hit is, he's probably not gonna kill me. You know. Oh, this guy's on some freak shit. This guy's on some freaky shit. Ain't gonna work, doggy. He's about to run in a second. One time I actually KO'd a dude and he like ran to the lobby and he was in the lobby, he was safe, but the poison got him and he actually turned off his prayer. So I actually got his void waker like that. I'm gonna run back out because I want to keep this dude. We gotta kill this dude. Now we fought this dude so many times. Like we gotta kill this guy. So I'm not going to let him. I'm not gonna let him off the hook. Let's see here. Yeah, we're not gonna let this dude off the hook. Absolutely not. Especially because he's been talking a little bit of trash. But to me, that's fun. I like that shit, you know. I think, at least the way I grew up, you know, yeah, you gotta talk a little bit of trash, gotta talk a little bit of shit, you know. All right, here we go. Let's get him out of here. I'm sure like the poison isn't gonna work the same this time because he knows that I have it. So I'm going to try, as soon as I get him low enough, I'm gonna spec him out. There he is. Here he comes. 1 second. Watch this. This is about to be a crazy nasty KO right here. Watch. Hold up. I had to zone in. We're about to get him out of here. And we're gonna talk some shit. You imagine if I would have got KO'd right there, calling him a sausage? He says I won't kill him. All right, we're going to this next one. We're gonna get the Void Waker out. We're gonna get his head. This next one, I'm gonna pull out the Void Waker. You guys know I don't like. You guys know I don't like to use the Void Waker, but and this person right here is a little bitch. Central C is a fucking bitch. We're not even gonna fight that clown. Fuck out of here. And if we do, we're gonna go in minimal gear because he's such a little bitch. And I don't fuck with him. We're not even gonna give him a chance to make any money. Fucking clown. So I didn't have time to change my gear, but we're about to run back out and we're gonna try to change that gear. Because this dude, he can be killed, but I think we got to do it with the Void Waker because he keeps getting lucky. You know, I thought I would have hit an 80 by now, but he keeps getting lucky. So we're gonna, and if mini slap head, that's what we call him, slap head. You're gonna get cooked this time. I know you watching. Oh shit. We're risking crazy bank right now. We're risking like 80 mil. How much we risking? 106 mil, actually. And actually, you know, the helmet, it says that it's worth, you know, whatever, 20 mil. It's worth 100 mil. So that's the real price for it on the you know, the RuneScape, whatever. They just aren't in touch with the real prices, the street prices of things. All right, so this time this dude's dead. I got the AGS on me as well. We're gonna do Void Waker into the AGS. So I don't even care if bro's watching. Like at this point, he's fucked. So let's get it. Let's enter flow state. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm new. All right, let's go. Like, that shit ain't gonna work. Come on, dog. Hold on. Look at that. Eat up, pussy. Eat up, bitch. See, everybody here wants a piece of the kid. Come to World 18, everybody wants a piece of the kid, you know. Um, I run World 18. I run Bounty Hunter. Eat that. Eat up. Slaphead. I mean, yeah, he says he eats ass. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. Some freaky nerds on RuneScape tonight. So bro's getting cooked up. He thought that was gonna work. Hold on. Let me laugh at him again. He says I sit 99. I told him to sit on my balls. How about that? And I'm gonna talk to this idiot real quick. And watch this idiot's about to try to spec me now. Everybody, this is Bounty Hunter. I got the biggest bounty on my head in here. You know, when I come in, people know that people are gonna get fucked up. Bodies are gonna drop. You know, people are gonna lose bills. People are gonna jump out the window. You know, that's what happens when I come in. So that's why you guys see everybody, you know, come after me in Bounty Hunter. Because I got the bounty on my head. I got the real target on my head. You know, this dude is cooked though. Oh, let's go. Let's go, bitch. You're dead. Lucky as fuck. Lucky as fuck. So I put on the redemption prayer because it makes me like basically unKOable if I time everything right. Unless I'm paying attention to the chat and then I don't time it right. But like if he's able to hit me to get my health under 10% or to 10%, and then I triple eat, it's like so crazy how much it makes you like basically impossible to kill. Now it is risky because if you fuck up or if they just get really lucky and they're able to get like 2 crazy big hits back to back, then you can die and get smited, you know. But in my experience, for the most part, it's a great way to KO these dudes. Especially if you're risk fighting. If you're risk fighting and you're gonna go for the risk, you gotta grab your balls when you do this, but you go for the risk with that redemption prayer on, it makes it to where you can just take bigger risks. It's just such a great weapon. All right, so we're gonna set everything up for the next round. This time I'm gonna kill this dude. We got 21 seconds to get everything we need. All right, let's go. This man is a slaphead. Listen, this is my other son. This is my other son right here. Hold up. All right, watch. I'm about to enter flow state. 1 second. Trade me at chess. All right, bet. I got you. I got you. Let me cook this dude up 1 second. What you doing? I'm whooping your ass. That's what I'm doing. Slap head. That's what he is. This guy is a sausage. That's what he is. Just like they say in the UK. All right, here I come. I'm about to come a chest in a second. But you gotta do it fast though, cause I wanna whoop this dude's ass. I wanna finish this dude. And we only have like I think 20 seconds uh once we leave this area. If you get killed, what do you say here? This guy's